Looks like we are live. A little bit of delay there, but we are live, guys. Getting it ready here. What's happening, everybody? It is Thursday night. We're ready to party hardy here. We're talking big bad breakouts. Welcome to the show. Got to get my seat adjusted here. Guys, fantasy football is back. Welcome to the show, guys. Smash it, tap it, slap it, hit the thumbs up. We are live, everybody. Waiting everybody to come in. We're going to do a Q&A here today. Guys, Q&As are so important because I'm covering a lot of Q&A for everybody, and I'm sure your question is going to overlap at some point there, and I'm going to try to get to as many as I humanly possibly can. We're talking big. We're talking bad. We're talking breakouts here. Don't be a donkey. Draft lad McConkey. What's happening, guys? In the comments, drop it, smash it, tap it, slap it. Parties here. Kyren Williams stock is definitely dropping. I like the guy, but his stock is dropping. Give me some Blake Corum. Blake Corum, everybody. I don't want a punt returner. I like Kyren. He was on the show. Super nice guy. When the tire meets the road, when the tire meets the road, it's all about fantasy football, okay? So welcome, guys, to the show. We're talking breakouts here. They're big. They're bad. And they're breaking out. So speaking of breakout, let's start with Blake Corum. Blake Corum is primed to break out. They just said that Kyren Williams a couple days ago is going to be returning punts full time. That's a problem. I have a problem with that. If I'm drafting this guy at the end of first round, early second, I got a Kyren Williams problem. Now I actually put this in the 16 round draft solution. I actually put this there back in May or when was Blake Corum drafted? What's up, Abraham? He's now a 16 rounder. Amazing. And if you guys want your questions answered, do a super chat or a thank you. There's a thank you button there. Leave a thank you, drop a super chat, and you're guaranteed to get your question answered. It is big draft weekend. I put a note in 60 rounds saying, Corum is going to be a thorn. He's going to be a thorn this year to Kyren Williams. I said this, guys, in the 16-round draft. All you guys that got 16 rounds, you guys know. You saw. It's in the notes. It's in the notes. Go under the note. It's always been there. From version 1 of my notes while I did the upgrades, while I did the updates, okay? So we're talking breakouts here. I don't want to spend too much time on the breakouts. I want to focus more particularly on the Q&A. I want to get your questions answered. So smash it, tap it, slap it, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you guys do grab the 16-round draft solution. You know what's funny? People keep sending me DMs. They're like, check out my team. And they got like Nico Collins on their team. And they got Jalen Waddle on their team. And they got like people that I wouldn't even draft. I'm like, dude, you did not get 16 rounds. This is not a 16 rounds team. You're going to lose. And then they put on like a Keon Coleman in there and they get some tidbits and some bits of information from my stuff, but it's not complete. If you don't have 16 rounds, you don't get the complete team. So what happens is if you don't get 16 rounds, people are like, oh, you told me, one player and that particular player, let's say busts, then you're like, oh, well, Joe's wrong, but you haven't experienced 16 rounds. So unless you've actually experienced 16 rounds and then you lost, then it's like, okay, that makes sense. His strategy doesn't work. But don't just draft 2 players. Maybe the 2 players that I'm recommending are the 2 that bust, but my other 20 hit. Right? So that's why 16 rounds is a backup plan for a backup plan. It's a complete solution. Okay? So we're talking breakouts today. Again, if you want to super chat it, I will put you guys as a shout out and I had priority, kind of like this. The Surge right here. Surge Tavathian. I like that. Tavathian. Sounds like something off Game of Thrones. House of Tavathians. House of Tavathians. If you guys watch House of Dragon or Game of Thrones. Hello, Serge. House of Tavathians. Yes, I like the House of Tavathians. They are the leaders. Okay. Picking 6. I hope I'm pronouncing. I'm probably butchering the way to pronounce his name, to be honest, but either way, I butcher names all the times. Serge from House of Tavathians. Picking 6. I know that both Bijan and Brees would be gone, but how do you know that? Maybe they fall. But okay, assuming they do. Thoughts on Amon or Chase can't justify any other running back at 106. You're right. I'm crazy. I still like Saquon. I just think the ceiling is there just because there's just so many more wide receivers later. to give you context, Romeo Dobbs is coming out for round 9. He's the wide receiver 1 to Jordan Love. Now, again, you could say, oh, well, Amon-Ra, Chase is Chase. And I think Chase has a high ceiling. Mind you, still dealing with his contract stuff. Did he figure out his contract stuff? I don't think he did. Yeah, it's like, I just think there's so many more wide receivers there. So I still think Bijan will fall to you, Serge. I do. I still like Saquon, and then I go back and I get like a Henry into or someone like that, okay? Again, Serge, if you have to ask this question, grab 60 rounds because I draft from the 1st, 6th, and 12th position, 3 different mock drafts fully laid out for you. Grab 16 rounds, use code SMASH to save. Go grab 16 rounds right now, Serge. Link in the bio or go just Google 16 round draft so you can grab it right now. It's going to give you a lot more comfort because even no matter what you do in the first 2 rounds, you're going to cover yourself. You're going to have a backup for a backup. You get all those mid-tier wide receivers. You're going to be locked and loaded. You're going to know who the sleeper tight ends are. You're going to be locked in at every single position, okay? It's really amazing. So, Serge, go grab 16 rounds. You'll answer. I still like going running back, okay? So, again, we're talking big, bad breakouts here. Again, we talked about Blake Corum. If you guys are just joining us, I think, and I said this in the 60-round draft session, that he's going to be tearing up into the volume of Kyren Williams, and then he came out to be a punt returner, okay? There's that. Also, one thing in breaking news, I want to talk about this real Cook. I can't even talk today, man. It's so late.
We now have breaking news.
Yeah, Ayuk gets a 4-year, what is it, 120 million? I don't think he's worth that. I really don't think that Ayuk is worth 30 million a year. And he went and he pissed and he moaned about like, I don't want to be here. And then he's showing up in street clothes. And then he goes and negotiates with the Browns. He negotiates with the Patriots. And he negotiates with Johnny and Henry and Michael and Donnie and Tom and Dick and Harry. And then he realizes that like, I just want to stay in San Francisco. And he takes the same offer that they offered him way back when. So again, I'm not an Ayuk fan. For fantasy, I'm not an Ayuk fan. For reality, I think he's going to get diluted. He's still coming off in round 3. Not exciting to say the least at all. At all. I have no Ayuk stock, okay? Again, I just think he's completely overpaid. I just have no belief in him at all, okay? Okay, so smash thumbs up and drop a question. We're just doing a little banner for you guys so you guys know what's up. Okay, update that, and away you go. There's the banner. All right, smash the thumbs up. Everybody hit the thumbs up and drop a question. So we're talking breakouts. We're talking about Blake Corum. We're talking about Ladd McConkey. Don't be a donkey. Draft Ladd McConkey. I love him. I love the PPR upside. I love the void in volume. I love the check downs with Austin Eckler being gone. I love everything. I love the fact that Keenan Allen is gone. I love everything about Ladd McConkey. So honestly, guys, don't be a donkey. Draft, guess who? Drop it in the comments. Ladd McConkey. And I hate when this camera blurs out. Come on, focus. Trying to like get the camera to focus. It kind of blurs out. And it's an expensive webcam. Yeah, it can't focus. Like, come on, focus, Daniel, son, focus. I hate when I'm like blurred out. Like, come on, guys. I'm in like 1080p and I'm blurred out. All right, let me just shut the camera off and back on, see if it focuses. Are we back? No, it doesn't want to focus. Okay, it'll focus when it wants to. It's in one of those when I do it kind of feeling, right? TuneBot Bro says camera looks good. No, I'm blurred. My face is blurred because I moved in and out and it just won't capture my face. But anyways, it is what it is. Let's focus on you guys. So we're talking breakouts, Blake Corum, Ladd McConkey. Those are the first 2. I don't even want to say it anymore, but I'm going to say it. Keon Coleman. Yes, I said it. I couldn't resist myself. Keon Coleman, baby. 241. How many targets freed up? 241. 241, man. Dude. Keon Coleman. And I said this in a reel the other day, and I was talking about it. Like, they don't want to tell you how good Keon Coleman is. I'm telling you right now, they don't want to tell you how good Keon Coleman is. He is going to take off this year. Like, I'm all in on Keon Coleman, 150,000%. 150,000% in on Keon Coleman. JM Music says, hey, Joe, love your channel. What's up, Fantasy Bros? Saying hi to everybody. Appreciate that. I appreciate that, guys. Drop your questions below. And there you go. Now it's focused in. Thank you, Canberra, for kicking back in. Appreciate it. Thank you. Took you like 5 minutes. Yeah, man. Thoughts on Drake London? Listen, I like Drake London. It's a make or break year. Second round pick, a little expensive, but he's finally got a quarterback. I mean, look at who he had throwing the ball. Me and Jim were talking about it. We recorded it today. It's coming out tomorrow. We're talking about our top 10 favorite players. We're just talking about Kirk Cousins, and Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder just got cut as a backup. That's who was throwing the ball. So quarterbacks, guys, genuinely make wide receivers, right? And this is a big reason why I'm turned off Justin Jefferson, because honestly, is Sam Darnold just going to magically put on a hat and turn into Pat Mahomes? It doesn't work like that. There's a real conviction. Oh, don't ask me that question, BPZ. Don't ask me that question. Brian Thomas Jr. or Curtis Hill. What do you think? What do you think? And I was just going to get to the point. There's a real conviction in saying, years to wow me, I'm not wowed. Do not, I repeat, do not draft a player that has had years to wow you and you're not wowed. Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough, okay? If you're good or great, it's going to show. It's going to show early. So I don't waste my time with Curtis Samuels or people that just suck for years, Sam Darnold, or whoever Sam Darnold is throwing to him, because Sam Darnold has sucked, okay? So guys, use your brain. That's what it's for. It's to make logical decisions, okay? Some people say Mullins to Jefferson wasn't bad. Sometimes, man, people play like their, career depends on it, which it does. They're going to do good things. And I still think volume's going to be there for Jefferson. I'm not saying he's going to be a total bust. I'm just saying I just don't want to draft him in round one because I'm going running back. And I don't know, man. I just don't feel good about Sam Darnold. I don't feel warm and fuzzy. Okay, so guys, if you want to get ahead of the chat here as we're talking breakouts, I'm peppering in the breakouts. I'm also answering questions as we go, making this interactive. We're hanging out. It's fun. We're fantasy heads. I love it. Sharing passions. But I just ask that you guys hit the thumbs up. Thumbs up helps a lot. Just everybody smash that thumbs up. Takes 2 seconds. You guys are sitting there, probably on the toilet. How many people are on the toilet right now? Please don't watch me on the toilet. In the shower. Where are you guys? Where are you guys? Put your location. Okay, where are you guys? Are you in bed? Shower? Hopefully you're not driving and watch. If you're driving, don't touch the phone, guys. Hands free, all that stuff, right? Safety first. Where are you guys hanging out? Drop it below. But guys, hit the thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Tune Bro says he's in bed with son. Okay, so this guy's got a question. He's 2 boys and they're scary pops. Get to have a keeper. Buy Jan or Terry. Oh, buy Jan all day. I mean, Tyreek could be on his over the hill kind of moment. And there's wide receivers for day. Grab Buy Jan. That's an easy one for me. Again, if you want your questions answered, use the super chat, guys, to guarantee your question answered, but I'm going to get to some other people. Brian Talamasi is in Fort Lauderdale. Usually shower, but paying bills. Now, I hate bills. You know what's annoying about bills? Who could kind of relate? Bills, they always show up. It's so annoying, man. They always show up. It's sometimes friends don't show up that often. Everybody lets you down sometime, right? But one thing won't let you down is the bills. They always show up. Whether it be your hydro bill, your gas bill, your water bill, your phone bill, is your mortgage. It always shows up. You can count on your bill showing up. Okay. I wish that I had a fantasy player that showed up as much as my bills do. Who else wants a fantasy player that shows up as much as their bills? I do. And we're not talking Buffalo Bills. We're talking the bills you pay. He says, I listen in the car on the way to work. Mark, what do you do? Mark DeBruin, a.k.a. Boston Bruins fan right here. Mark, Boston Bruin DeBruin. Where do you work? I mean, we don't want to know where you work. There might be some crazies in here. But what do you do for a living? Where are you headed? Do you work at in an office? What's going on? Okay, so we're talking breakouts here. Okay, we're talking breakouts. We're talking about McConkey. We're talking about Blake Corum. We're talking about Keon Coleman. I think Trey Benson, dude, and rookie breakouts are big this year. This is going to be the year of rookie breakouts. I'm more concerned. There's going to be some major Trey Benson. I don't know why you're wasting a pick on James Conner. Grab Trey Benson. Also, Tajay Spears, big-time breakout right there, okay? I'm giving you all of them right now, and Rashid Shaheed, who are at the Fantasy Sports Summit. They're on my show, all prime. Yeah, Neighbor is going to break out too, okay? There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to have great years because of the position that they're in. When you're drafting a guy, okay, Every customer is listening. What customer? Are you in a store or something? Like, what do you mean every customer? Can someone help me? Oh, have you on a loudspeaker? Own store. What type of store is it? What are you selling? Is it like, what type of store is it? I'm curious. That's really interesting. All right, we got a super chat here, guys. I'm going to get to that. I got text messages coming in. I got people ordering 16 rounds like crazy here. Oh, man, lots of stuff going on here. What's going on? Okay, I got so much on the go here. All right, let's get the super chat here. All right, thoughts on Rachaad White? I don't understand the hate now. Granted, I'm a massive Bucks fan. But the new O-line, run volume, great pass catcher. Why? Because he's boring. What do you average? Like 3 point some odd yards per carry? He's not that good. And I think Bucky Irving, I'd rather stash Bucky Irving later. Give me Bucky later, man. I'm not a Rachaad White fan. Again, last year, the least the volume is there, but he's so boring. He's so like when I look at a running back, especially in the early rounds, I'm looking for someone who is going to be explosive, okay? Someone who's going to be dynamic. Someone's going to be ultra explosive. So that's what I'm looking for. All right, 16 rounds is great. Ignore guys who suck and grab guys who don't. Absolutely, man. Again, I keep talking about this last year, and it was like, where is this here? Last year, everybody was telling you T. Higgins round 2. And I keep going to these guys' examples. There's more, but I love rhyming these ones off. Austin Eckler, 2nd overall. Tony Pollard, 8th overall. T. Higgins, round 2. Mike Williams, round 5. J.K. Dobbins, round 4. Dalvin Cook, round 5. Always Waddle early, right? It's like they don't know. I mean, Sam Laporta was ranked 21st, but if you know who the breakouts are, you get them around her so early and you have the league winners. That's what 16 rounds does. So if you haven't gotten 16 rounds, guys, make sure you grab it. And again, I can't stop. I'm like shamelessly plugging it because I believe in it because it actually works. It actually works. I just there's nothing I have so much conviction. I wouldn't put something out if I didn't believe in it. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that's that. It totally works. You're going to get an email when you sign up. You're going to get all my sleepers, breakouts, full mock draft. It's amazing. Rankings are done. Let's go here. Okay, let's drop some questions here. So we talked about breakouts, though. Let me just recap the breakouts, and then we'll just do a quick Q&A. We talked about Blake Corum. We talked about Rashid Shaheed, Tajay Spears, Trey Benson, Keon Coleman, Lad McConkey. There you go. There's some big-time breakouts for you. Go draft them. You guys will be very, very happy. I think Zamir White as well. There's a bonus one. I'm giving away a lot of stuff here on these sides. That's why you guys got to turn on the bell so you don't miss these lives, okay? All right, let's get to some questions here. Again, if you want your question guaranteed, drop it below. I'm taking McLaurin in the 5th round. Too much of a reach. I don't know, man. I hate to say this. I love Daniels. I just McLaurin doesn't excite me, but to satisfy my Jaden Daniels urges to draft him, I can either draft him, but again, I like to get more of a safer quarterback, a quarterback that's proven, even though Daniels could crush it this year. Again, I love the talent. I love Daniels. To satisfy my Daniels urges, I'm drafting Ben Sinnott later for free. McLaurin, again, years to wow, I'm not wowed. He has to succeed. And again, we talk about quarterbacks making wide receivers, but he doesn't excite me, McLaurin. It could be a breakout year for McLaurin. Yes, for me, I have no stock on him at all. Drop your questions below. What running backs do you go? Devin, what I've been doing, here's what I've been doing. So those running backs suck. Because again, you're looking at running backs coming around when James White. Oh my God. You guys remember James White, the scat back in New England? Rachaad White. You've got Rachaad White in there. Who else? You got James Conner in there. You got James Cook. I surpass all those guys. If I was going to do anybody, I'd wait a round or two and get Zamir White. Way more upside. Now again, White is safe. I'm not saying he completely is going to bust. I'm just saying he's boring. I like the more explosive players, okay? More upside players, more guys that average more than 3 yards per carry, okay? That's, again, nothing against, I can't say nothing against White. He's boring. I don't know how else to say it. It reminds me kind of like a Peyton Barber, but better, a little better than Peyton Barber, right? Like that's what we're talking about. Like I feel like I get Peyton Barber vibe. If you guys remember Peyton Barber, very boring, very boring. Like, yeah, there's no desire for me at all. Greg, what's up? Good evening, Joe. I have one more draft to put 16 rounds to use on Monday. Pick it from the second spot out of 14 teams. I hate those 14 teams. Again, it's very diluted. They take all the good players, but again, you got to go running back, buy Jen or Brees. But remember, draft Braylon Allen if you go Brees later. I got this feeling that Braylon Allen's going to do well. Just remember me saying that. I don't know. Blake Corum, Braylon Allen could be solid. There's a ton of what I've been doing. I won't say exactly who. It's all in 16 rounds, but what I do is I get my 2 running backs early. I get like a Zamir, another guy's my 4th. And then what I do is I stash 2 of these breakout guys, like these 2, like a Bucky Irving, for example, Marshawn. I get 2 of them and they're all kind of dart throws. But if you are stashing running backs later, make sure they're rookies. I do like Jordan Mason a lot. We're talking breakouts. If my theory is true, which I believe it is, that CMC goes down, which I believe is true, then Jordan Mason is next in line. They got Isaac Orendo, but it looks like Mason has looked good every time he's touched the ball. The team trusts Jordan Mason, but I just feel that when CMC goes down, and he will, Jordan Mason's gonna be good. He's a good stash. Okay, I just think that there's something there. Okay, all right. So Mark DeBruin is in uniform and linen services. Listen to this show twice daily for the last 5 to 7 years. Wow. Huge fan. Keon McConkey, Thomas, and Zeus owner everywhere. I'm rolling with you, man. I'm rolling with you. Dude, it's going to be wild, man. And everybody, what's funny? I really feel Keon, McConkey, and Thomas all hit. And you know what's funny? They're ranked 48, 50, 51. They're all 48 to 52 in regards to rankings, give or take a ranking amongst wide receivers. As soon as 1, 2, or 3 are hit, you're going to see Keon Coleman coming off round 1 next year. And that's the crazy thing. You're getting Josh Allen, who is in 5th in passing attempts, arguably the best quarterback in the league. You are getting his wide receiver. Am I whispering this is a secret? You're getting Josh Allen's wide receiver 1 in round 8. Shh, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Attention passengers, you are ready for takeoff. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's going to be wild. These are wide receiver 1s we're talking about. Lad McConkey, Thomas, this is just wild. Let's do it. All right, guys, drop your questions below. Let's rip through some questions. Again, if you guys want your question guaranteed, drop a super chat. There's a thank you button as well. If you guys want to donate anything, because I'm taking time away from the family and kids to be on here. I haven't kissed the kids goodnight for the past 2 weeks, and I'm doing lives with you guys. So, mind you, I do give them a kiss goodnight before I come to the basement or whatever. But you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? It's just I'm dedicating my time. So any thank you would be great, okay? Oh man, Uncle Ted's cabin. What'd you do? That's a creepy photo, dude. I had a brain fart and took Michael Pittman in round 2. My season's over. I don't think so. Depends on how the rest of your team looks like, but Pittman is boring. He's not touchdown heavy. He's just not. I don't know. I have no Pittman. I don't trust Anthony Richardson. I just don't. If I'm gonna take a risk on a quarterback, maybe Jane Daniels. If I'm risking it, I just don't trust a guy who played 4 games and got hurt last year. No. Let's see here. Got another question. Devon Chapman. Devon Atchain. I mean Chapman. Sorry, Chap. I thought you were Devon Atchain. I saw Devon. I'm like, is Devon Atchain on the live? I wouldn't be surprised. We had a lot of athletes on the show. We had Trey Benson on the show this year. We had Pat Fryermuth. Go back a couple episodes, guys. Pat Fryermuth was on the show. The Muth was on the show. Kyron was on the show. Spears was on the show. Tajay was on the show. Super nice guys. Everybody was just super pleasant to have on the show. Great guys. Some of these players, especially these younger guys, they're all pretty much young. They're all football players in their 20s. But, these early, these young rookies are second-year players. Very nice guys. Very nice guys. Okay, I watch your show and I follow a lot of your tips. I know you like to draft high on the depth chart, But are there any wide receiver 2s that you like or more than wide receiver 1 I should follow? Yeah, so what I like to do is I aim high in the depth chart. I never draft like a Higgins or Waddle. If you are looking at wide receiver 2s, do it later, like Rashid Shaheed or a risk with Jalen Polk or Demario Douglas. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get wide receiver 1s in round 9. I get Romeo Doubs in all my leagues. I'm getting Jordan Love's number 1 wide receiver in round 9. So you don't have to get wide receiver 2s in those early rounds. That's where I have a problem. I see like Nico Collins round 2. I see DJ Moore. Like we don't know if he's the one. You get Keenan Allen round 4. Like we don't know. Like DK Metcalf round 3, 4. Like who's the one there? You could say Metcalf is, but his target's going to get diluted with JSN taking a step up in Seattle and Geno Smith throwing the ball, which I don't really like, right? It's like, dude, it's just you can get so much more value later at wide receiver that you're crazy to consider getting a wide receiver 2. And I think T. Higgins last year is a perfect example. T. Higgins round 2 last year, absolutely ludicrous. Ludicrous. Guys, don't settle. Okay, Dede or Tyreek. Anybody know who Dede is? Is that a new player? I'm going to go Tyreek. I'm just kidding. I'm guessing he means CD. I'd probably go CD if I had to choose between those two. I'm going running back anyway, if you're talking round 1. Let's see if there's any more questions. That's a Chains burner. Yeah, a Chains burner for sure. So Jeff Kincaid. Okay, this is a good one. So Jordan Vang asks, so would you draft Kincaid or Keon Coleman or stash both? I just fade Kincaid. Oh my God. There you go. I got a new rhyme. Fade Kincaid and be on Keon. That's what I did. That's what I did in all my leagues. Everybody somehow believes that Kincaid is the wide receiver 1. Dude, I just think people have like amnesia or like just bad memories or something. Like Dawson Knox is back. Like I'm not a Dawson Knox fan. I've got zero Dawson Knox stock, but Dawson Knox is there. Like who's to say that Dawson Knox isn't the one? Like I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just asking questions. Like Dawson Knox. I mean, there was a video I posted I think 2 months ago with like Josh Allen at Dawson Knox's wedding, like they're best buds, like everybody just somehow said like consensus agreed and said, hey, Kincaid's magically the one, but let's not draft the top rookie prospect at wide receiver who's an athletic gem with 241 freed up targets and no Diggs there and Gabe Davis. Let's just leave Keon Coleman, they're saying, and just go ahead and draft Kincaid round 3. I think Ferguson's going to smash Kincaid in fantasy points. I like Ferguson way more, less competition. Jake Ferguson, man. Uncle Ted's Cabin says, Counselor Serious here. You are the most informative, entertaining guy. Thanks, man. I still think your picture is very creepy. Who agrees here that Uncle Ted's Cabin picture is creepy? If that's you, I'm sorry. I don't mean to, but you're kind of like, yeah, maybe you just need a haircut. I think you need to groom here, Uncle Ted's Cabin. Okay? It's a haircut thing. All right? All right. Other than that, I mean, if you just groomed, a nice shave, line up, you'd look fine. He's laughing. It's just a weird shot. It almost looks like kind of a mug shot. I think that is a mug shot. Is that like a measuring thing behind you? Dude, that's not you, man. That's definitely not you. That's somebody else. I don't know. Does anyone know who that is? Looks like a mugshot or something. Looks like somebody who's in trouble. All right. If you got Wi-Fi in the slammer, man, that's cool. Watching me. He's probably got on speaker and all his prison mates are all together like, hey guys, the counselor. They're like, anyways, it's funny. That's Kaczynski. Okay. Yeah. Why don't you get a picture of you up there maybe? Okay. Is Luke McCaffrey for the Commanders worth a... Oh, it's a Unibomb. Okay, yeah, okay, I got you. Is Luke McCaffrey for the Commanders worth a stash on the bench? My starting wide receivers are Ridley, Coleman, Malik. When my bench wide receivers were gone, I currently have... Yeah, I like Luke McCaffrey more. I have no desire for Davis. I have no desire for Thielen. I see some upside with Polk. Yeah, I mean, he could. Yeah, there's something there. I have no stock in McCaffrey. I think he might be one of my regrets because again, we talked about me just totally believing in Jaden Daniels. So I think there's something there. I think there's something there with Luke potentially because again, I'm not sold on McLaurin. Okay. I was laughed at my draft for taking Neighbors fifth. Hope you're right. What do you mean? Why would you draft Malik Neighbors fifth? Are you talking like fifth round or fifth overall? Because I don't know why you would take him fifth overall when you could just get him later. Can you clarify this? I'd laugh at you too if you took him fifth overall. I never told anybody to draft him fifth overall. Yeah, Very Thick Hog is asking the same question. Fifth round is a steal. Fifth overall, you're nuts. And he's got another funny photo as well. Is that you in the photo? Again, we're not doing starts and sits right now. We're going to be doing starts and sits shortly, probably next week. I like Ridley Deontay. People ask about Ridley Deontay. I like him. Pacheco, Kenneth Walker. I don't know, man. I've got no stock in both those. I think Pacheco's a safer guy. He runs hard. He saw an uptick in volume. I know Jimmy Maverick likes Pacheco a lot, So, guys, make sure you guys are dropping a thumbs up. Get some more questions here. Drop a thumbs up, and I got to roll out in a bit. It's been a long day, man. It's been a long day. It's one of those days, man. It's been crazy. So, drop a comment here. Got so many emails. Guys, this is what my news feed looks like. Look at this. Look at my notifications. Like, it's just, and that's just like for the past hour. Because I got like Twitter going or X. I got like people ordering 16 rounds. I got like DMs. I got like a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff going on. So, anyways, a couple more questions. I got to go. When do you think Benson takes Connor's job? 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks? I wouldn't think it's too long. I really feel what's going to happen. They're going to start Connor. They're going to run Benson. They're going to run Connor. They're going to Benson. Benson's going to look better. And that, they're going to do the 50-50, kind of like Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. And I think Connor just gets hurt and he's done. That's my prediction. I could be wrong, but who knows? How did I get into fantasy football? I started off in 2015. I was doing fantasy frames, guys. I don't know if I have a frame here. I do not. It was like putting sports cards in a frame. And it was like a league prize. So instead of a trophy, I would ship out a engraved frame with your team's sports cards in it. Tell me if it's a cool idea or not. I came up with this back in 2016. And then I went to like a convention with all these fantasy analysts kind of presenting this frame idea. And everybody was just so a-hole-ish. Like nobody was friendly in the fantasy community. They're like, yeah, this frame idea was kind of done. It kind of flopped. Nobody was encouraging. So I said to myself, these guys aren't friendly. And nobody was lifting me up, right? I was a new guy in the industry. And that's when I said, I'm just going to smash these guys. I'm just going to do it better. So I created 16 rounds, built the biggest Instagram page ever, and crushing it everywhere. So that's what I did. And there's a lack of authenticity, I think, in this industry where nobody cares about the fans. Nobody cares about anybody. It just seems more like, very self-serving. And I just wanted to create something that helps people. So Fantasy Frames just kind of gave up on that idea. Just went for the podcast. Okay. If I win again, probably with you, I'd commission you for the one of those. Yeah, man. I don't know if I'm going to bring Fantasy Frames back. Maybe one day we'll do that. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Yeah, the industry guys, I can't get along with these guys. They're very envious. They're very jealous. And a lot of these guys in the fantasy football don't have Instagram followings. So they just don't like it that you're ahead of them. It's crazy. It's just stupid people. And the reason, here's the thing. Let me just share this with everybody here. I was working in a sales job. I was in hydraulics. I was a sales rep selling industrial products, right? And I hated the corporate world. Like I hated answering these white collar managers and like everybody was kind of like buy the book, blah, 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 blah. You got to do this. And, and it's like, I used fantasy football as an escape, right? So why would I get back in the corporate world with these white collar a-holes in the fantasy industry? I don't care for them, right? I want to distance myself as far as possible and be an independent and just, not be around them. And they've got like these rules and structure, and you go to this convention, everybody's like kissing everybody's butt. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be part of that. I'm not dude, if I kiss people's butt, I'd probably be on ESPN long time ago. And I don't care for that, man. I just do my own thing because if they want me, they got to get the Joe that's the authentic me because I'm not selling out, okay? They're just so boring, so cookie cutter. Nobody wants to take risks. They got no balls. That's the only way to explain the fantasy football analysts in the industry. They've got zero balls, and they'll never hold themselves accountable. Ever, ever, ever. Now watch, as soon as Keon, Brian Thomas, and all these guys break out, they're all telling you Curtis Samuel, but if Keon does well, they'll be riding Keon Coleman. So there's gonna be a lot of yelling going on my Instagram. If you're not following Insta, make sure you guys follow Fantasy Football Counselor. I'm gonna be doing a lot of yelling this year at these guys. Okay, all right, guys. Listen, I gotta get going here. I appreciate you guys. Hit the thumbs up on your way. Go grab 60 rounds, guys. Go grab it, guys. You will not regret it. Go grab 60 rounds upon checkout. As soon as we get out of here, drop a thumbs up and go grab 16 rounds. I've linked it below. I appreciate you guys. I gotta roll out. We'll talk soon. Thank you guys, and stay away from the Consheepsis. They're all liars. 90% of these guys are lying to you. Copy and paste garbage. We'll talk soon, guys. I appreciate you. Turn on the bell. Grab 16 rounds.